Pokemon Emerald Elite Redux is a difficulty ROM hack where every trainer is a threat, but the game also has a ton of quality of life features like full EV customization and instant leveling, auto healing between each battle, changing moves in the summary screen, in which there are a ton of brand new ones. The main gimmick, however, lies with the abilities. All Pokemon have 4 at once, one of 3 you can switch between, and 3 innates which are always active. Plenty of original abilities as well as some original Pokemon. I will be attempting to complete a hardcore Nuzlocke as the game is always in set mode and you can't use items in battle anyway, set to the highest difficulty and the hardest level caps, which has never been done before here on YouTube. So, let's get right into the first run. The first thing we gotta do is set the difficulty to Elite and the level caps to Elite, and enable the Nuzlocke feature, which will not allow us to catch anything but the first Pokemon we encounter in each area. What's more important is picking the right starter, as the beginning of the game might be the most difficult. Very limited resources and plenty of strong trainers. Grass is definitely the way to go though, especially because of Roxanne. So I decide that Sprigatito is the one for me. Florigato gets Technician right away and has a great early game speed, and will have Protean after the first gym. We grabbed the first encounter and it wasn't Fido, but the Fire Horse Ponyta. Then in Old Dale we get a Darumaka. So 2 fire types and then a Grubbin, all weak to rock. Luckily, the first fight against the rival is an automatic win, since she'll just have her Hoenn starter and I'll have a second stage evolution Florigato. Now every trainer will automatically be at the level cap, which is raised with each gym badge. Since we have 0, the cap is 16. May is taken out with a simple Rock Tomb. Now the real fun begins. Calvin is a tough test for the first trainer we fight. We grab a Gothorita and prepare our team as best we can. Calvin's team is made to be a reality check that let you know just what you're getting into. Florigato can take out Choodle, Seal, and Poochyena, but a Choice Scarf Yungoos with a guaranteed crit on the first turn is a problem. I thought Goober would take it, but it just guarantees a 2-shot. I figured Grubbin can handle a dig, but the Rodent had plans to take everyone out as Audino 2 goes down. Florigato can come back now and finish with a low sweep. Tandemaus was looking to end things, so I used Darumaka's Flame Body innate and the power of Flare Blitz to give us our first real victory. Plenty of trainers to go, however, and we can't catch any more Pokemon until the next town. The next mandatory trainer has a Vibrava that dies to a triple Axle. I was feeling good until the speed boosting Yanma threatens to end us. Darumaka can't break through a sash, and Stomp, the Ponyta, can't in fact live a Bug Buzz. Goober the Gothorita could have, as it turns out, but is then finished off by a Carablast as it's taken down by Florigato. Unfortunately, he's the last one left, and our cat can't handle a Brave Bird, ending run number 1. Run number 2 starts with a shiny Sprigatito, which is hopefully a good sign for things to come. Our first encounter this time is the boy himself, Fido. Our Old Dale Town encounter is Mienfoo, and the Route 103 is a Luxio. I still didn't get the Audino encounter, so I was a little disappointed, as she's an incredible early game Pokemon. We get the opposite of our Gothorita in Curlia and are ready to stop Calvin without losing a Pokemon this time. Fight starts the same, except this time Fido is able to survive Yungoose's crit, so Luxio can get his Intimidate off. And Luxio decides he wants to flinch, so Fido is sacrificed for the good of the team. Mienfoo is able to take it out, but quickly learns about the mouse couple in the back, who also hates Curlia because they send her to the grave as well. So much for not losing any Pokemon. We escape to the next fight without loss and enter the fight that ended run 1. And we get past it at the cost of Luxio's life, and again we only have 1 Pokemon. Not for long though, as we grab the random gift starter being Tepig, the Petalburg encounter of Oddish, and the Route 104 encounter of Dwebble. I try to ninja sneak past a trainer and fail tremendously. And for some reason I confused Dwebble for having Strength Sap, which ends up costing it its life. We end up winning, but at what cost? Getting through that was a little lucky. The luck would end shortly after as a classic misinput against a powerful Furret and a fighting stuffed panda ends run number 2. No more playing around. Thinking I could do this without some prep beforehand was a mistake. They say 3rd time's the charm, so let's test that theory. New file, new UI, same Sprigatito starter. The Route 101 encounter is a Lillipup who is really solid, and I name him Joy Boy. Herdier eventually gets the ability Fur Coat and Filter and is extremely tanky with Eviolite. To unlock Pokemon's 3rd and 4th innates, however, we need to get 2 gym badges, but it's still solid. a Gumi in Oldale, and we finally get the top tier early game Pokemon Audino on Route 103. Amazing stats, +3 priority Drain Kiss thanks to Triage, Yawn, and Nasty Plot. Since she's the GOAT, I name her after the creator of the ROM hack, Darky. Picking up Gothorita, we're ready for Calvin. Florigato starts the same way, but now we actually have a switch in for the Nuclear Yungoos. Protect to stop the crit, and switch into Joyboy, the tank with Intimidate. He eats the hit, and I Baby Doll Eyes to lower its attack more, allowing Audino to Yawn, Protect, Nasty Plot, and Sweep. Off to our best start yet, breezing through the first route. Although Apom forces us to sack Goo for the good of the team as we needed to lower its speed. The gift starter ends up being a Marshtomp we name Ethan. We snag Burb the Fletchling in Petalburg and a Mastiff named Isk on Route 104. The perfect Pokemon to sacrifice. Avoiding the trainer we couldn't last time, we reach our PB. Taking on the Fisherman instead of the deadly Furret Stuffle combo we actually start to cook. Using Honey, we're able to get a Pikachu named Jadel, and it's a huge win. Incredible speed, Fake Out support, doubled attack and special attack thanks to Light Ball, and Stab +2 priority moves Shockwave and Spark. Its usefulness is immediately on display against the Aqua Grunt. Fake Out breaking the Sash, while Spark, which is boosted by its Generator ability, has a higher priority than Prankster. Thinking our Marshtomp Ethan could live a Crabhammer, I'm shocked to find out it couldn't. Pikachu avenges his fallen friend with a charge boosted Spark, and Audino cleans it up nice. Since we defeated everyone in Petalburg Woods, we get the gift Sizzlipede. On the bridge, we face our first ever double battle, and it can be very challenging if we don't have the right Pokemon. They lead with a Cottony and Petalil, whose goal is to set up Tailwind and Sunny Day, then destroy teams with Weather Ball, Solar Beam, and insane speeds. So I Secret Power Poison with Joyboy to stop the sun, and Fake Out to delay Tailwind, switching to avoid Encore as Psychic Fang kills the Oddish. With no Sun support or Tailwind, Audino and Herdier are too much to handle. We switch up the EVs and moves and make light work of the next fight. We make it to Rustboro, and this is our one and only chance at Eevee, who has a devolving feature making it busted. And we get a Glameow, who officially will become a Dust Collector. In the new Sea Spray Cave, we go to the ice section and grab an Alolan Ninetales. Our last encounter before the gym is a Joltik. Galvantula is pretty solid early game, but for now, it's out of range of our level cap. I prep the team for the first gym and make my way through. Every gym trainer needs to be defeated before we can face Roxanne. Florigato is able to put in heavy work with Loaded Dice Bullet Seed, stopping sturdy Pokemon and all rock types. I make final preps for the first ever gym battle. Roxanne's team is built with lots of coverage options. Unbirded Bombardier with Fling King's Rock to flinch, Burn Up Macargo with simple Shell Smash, and Rindo Berry Whiscash with an ability that lets all of its attacking moves hit again with a magnitude. This is what Florigato was made for. We start by dropping Creeping Thorns on the field, which is like grass stealth rocks, and are rewarded with a crit right off the rip. The Onix goes down, but Florigato is in trouble early. Since we went with the Adamant nature, Bullet Seed is able to kill Macargo, but it comes at the cost of not being able to outspeed the Bombardier. I send out Audino so we can Yawn, Protect, and get the +6 special attack. Just can't get flinched to death. Protecting first made it waste its King's Rock. At +4, Audino's lips run through the rest of the team with priority Draining Kiss, gaining our first badge and raising the level cap to 23, unlocking the second innate ability for all Pokemon. Also, receiving the gift of Mora from Roxanne. Now in Emerald Elite Redux, there are new Pokemon known as Redux forms, which are basically just the regional variants for this game. They can be purchased at any shop for BP, and each badge unlocks more. These Pokemon can be very valuable for a run. The rule I have put in place is that for each badge, we can use a random number generator to pick one of these Redux forms. Our first Redux form ends up being Pansage, a pure fighting type. When evolved into Redux Simisage, has amazing attack and speed this early, with Technician, Guts, and the ability Precise Fist, giving +1 crit to punching moves. At the time, I didn't realize how big of a pickup this was. For now, we need to get Pico back, so I make our way to Rust Turf Tunnel, and on the way, we experience an unexpected yet expected loss. Don't die. Isk's dead! Isk is dead, bro! Isk was always meant to be a sacrifice, but not in this fight. Was this foreshadowing the fate of another good boy? We continue to make our way through, carefully planning battles beforehand to avoid any more losses. In Rust Turf Tunnel, the Aqua Grunt awaits, and there's a permanent fog. Grab a shiny Larvitar named Dookie and get into the fight. We need to get through a tanky Muck, extremely powerful Crabhammer Kingler, and a quiver dancing Masquerain. The battle starts off easy enough, but with no safe switch in into Kingler, we sacrifice the little Sizzlypede. Pikachu takes it out and Joy Boy dodges a gunk shot on switch in. Accuracy gods are on our side as we have yet to miss, and Skrelp misses a Sludge Wave. I risk Joy Boy's life on a miss and take it out with Psychic Fangs. Focus Sash Masquerain comes in and gets a +1 in speed immediately thanks to Majestic Moth. We need to switch. Pikachu can take it out, but it's too risky to get it in clean. I sacrifice Joy Boy for the good of the run. Well, it didn't even need to die as it turns out because Pikachu would have lived the Air Slash. As long as Fake Out hits through the fog, we win. We bury our good boys together and keep pushing. Heading off to Dewford Town, there are more encounters to grab. Oricorio in the meadow would be clutch, but we get a Swirlix instead. In Dewford Manor, however, we get what might be considered the greatest encounter of the entire run with only a 5% encounter rate. At the time, I was pretty disappointed and I had no idea how lucky this was. Wimpod does suck for now as Golisopod isn't unlocked until level 30, so it can't be used until the second gym is done. So let's get to work on it. So I head up to Granite Cave. On the first basement floor, Goldenfinger the Sableye is added to the squad. Granite Cave is no longer just a simple endeavor, no. The champion of the game, Steven Stone, is waiting here to jump us. This is one of the most difficult fights in the game. A pseudo-legendary in Metagross and a straight-up legendary in Genesect, this fight is no joke. Luckily for us, with enough preparation, there is a Pokemon that can solo the entire fight. That Pokemon is Redux Simisage. With an adamant nature, max speed and attack EVs, and a flame orb to activate its guts, it has sweeping potential. Bulking up twice in front of Credilli as its first turn is wasted on Stealth Rocks. Drain Punch takes it out and gives us all the health back. Drain Punch easily takes out Metagross as well. Since Genesect has a Choice Scarf, Mach Punch is needed to take it out. Same with Heatmore, which is now a Steel Fire type. Dhelmise goes down to a Frustration as it's just a 95 base power move. Lastly, we just need to survive a hit from Sashed Alolan Dugtrio, and it's over. One of the toughest fights reduced to nothing. For our troubles, Steven rewards us with a little Honedge, aka the key to our second badge. Quickly we head to Slayport and take out the trainers on the beach so we can get Brawly back to his gym, where disaster awaits us. The very first Pokemon in the gym, just a standard Mienfoo. Fake Out and Spark is all it would take. And hit it with static. Okay, that might be bad. Well, I forgot that Mienfoo has Steadfast, meaning it can't be flinched, and High Jump was going directly into Pikachu's face. If I protected like I was supposed to, it would still be alive. I thought the run might be over because Alolan Raichu was going to be the key to a very hard battle coming up soon. In a Nuzlocke, you gotta be ready for anything. I aim to make my way through the rest of the gym with no other surprises, although we did sacrifice Pastel the Gothorita. Brawly awaits, and like I said before, Steven has provided us the key with victory in Honedge. I won't go into great detail here as I've already made a video on this fight, which you should definitely check out, but the quick version is, Spidops is very scared of Honedge, and that allows it to set up very easily earning us our second gym badge. With the level cap now being raised to 36, lots of new Pokemon are unlocked, including the last innate ability, most important of all being our Golisopod. The museum fight against Archie still looms over the team, and we need something to fill the big shoes of Alolan Raichu. Route 110 gets us Cyclizar, our spin for a new Redux form gets us Weasel, one of the weaker options honestly. We spin for one of the baby Pokemon in the mart and get a Bidoof, head to the new area unlocked in Petalburg Woods and get a shiny Kakuna and Bellsprout, then Isk number 2, the Stunfisk, Carbink named Bruh, and a Zubat. None of these come close to the utility of the electric surfing mouse, but Carbink's bulk is great for switch-ins. Now, the reason I'm so worried about this upcoming Archie fight is because it's actually a 6v12. We need to beat 2 grunts back to back, then Team Aqua leader Archie, no auto healing in between, and no changing our lead Pokemon. With a majority of Pokemon being poison or water type, you can see why a fast electric psychic type is useful. So, we lead with Dino the Aurorus and immediately switch to Tom Brady the Golisopod as its ability Coward automatically sets up Protect for it. 100% flinch first impression, followed by Earthquake takes it out. Carbink is able to switch in clean versus Mightyena, and with leftovers is safe to get a Stealth Rocks down. Carbink punches back with a counter and scares Mightyena away. Special Talonflame resists all the Ghost Anchor has and cleanly takes it out with an Overheat, activating a Jetpack into our Redux Simisage, who is able to take out the dog and protect against low kicks to avoid devastating damage. 1 down, 2 to go. Golbat lead can't handle a 1v1 against Aurorus. Clowitzer comes out, and if it crits with Hyper Beam, the run ends as it will tear through the entire team. It fails and must recharge, so it goes down. Tom Brady hits a Alolan Muck with the 1-2 combo, and we're on to fight 3. Liepard thinks it has a free fake out kill, but Burb eats it and outspeeds with a Jetpack Overheat. The AI doesn't realize Talonflame is leaving and sends out Sharpedo, who can outspeed Simisage. Doublade walls out Crobat easily. Electric is scary, but Simisage can handle it with a Berry Smash. Sligo has no chance against Golis as we get past the 1v3 with no hiccups. Afterwards, we run into our rival May, who is swept easily with the bug duo Galvantula and Golisopod. As we arrive in Maulville, I waste no time fighting the second rival, Wally. He has some heavy hitters, but nothing we can't handle. Galvantula is able to do a lot as it sets up sticky webs on entry, as well as has an ability that crits any Pokemon that has its speed reduced. Gardevoir clears the webs, but a nice little assist from Talonflame lets us set them back up. Hidden Power Ice takes care of Garchomp, and Braviary locks itself into a flying move against Redux Floatzel, which is completely immune to flying attacks. Using that momentum, I go straight into the gym and begin destroying trainers. Roserade puts in work as it has access to Quiver Dance. Just a few lets it sweep. Come on, no crit. A huge loss. Roserade was important for the Watson fight and is just a great Pokemon to have. Well, now I need some backup, so I get my encounter on Route 117 and pull a Illumise named Machine. Having the Prankster ability, as well as great status moves like Quiver Dance, Baton Pass, it's a nice pickup. Time for the third gym leader, Watson. The gym leaders really ramp up now. Leading with a Tapu Koko, I lead Crobat as its Scare ability will lower its special attack by 1, as a Focus Sash lets it get a U-turn off into Illumise. Just need to get 2 Quiver Dances off with no crits and Baton Pass to Alolan Ninetales. We survive and drop the nastiest of plots. Stored Power blows up Iron Hands, Ice Beam destroys both Raichus, neither Redux Exploud nor Mega Feraligatr can survive the Ice Fox's power. The level cap now jumps to 45, and Watson gives us a gift Ampharos with its Megastone, an extremely important Pokemon. Defeating the one trainer in Rust Turf Tunnel gets us the gift Impidimp, and I spin yet again for the new Redux form, being Simisear, the Emo Monkey. In the Verdant Glade, we get a Flabebe, and get a Togepi egg from the daycare hatched in Maulville. Heading up north, we take on many trainers, but with the squad we have, and carefully planning, none of them really pose a threat. And I make sure to avoid the hiker with 6 exploding golems. There's lots of trainers you can avoid if you know the path, otherwise you're going to be fighting a lot. Sneaking past all of them, I catch a shiny Bisharp in the ash, and continue to the next town. Except I lost my ninja skills and run into a trainer I was not prepared to fight. Hazards plus Whirlwind spamming Skarmory had me scared, not gonna lie. I eventually took it out, but staring into the eyes of a Pharaoh with a guaranteed crit coming my way, there was no way we were getting out of this without sacrifice. The least valuable, unfortunately, is Burb. The spicy chicken is sent to the big KFC in the sky. We make it to Fall Arbor Town with a heavy heart. Burb's spirit doesn't leave us for long as the random egg we hatch in here is Talo. Then we pick up the gift Gardevoir and hatch a Marill in Verdant Turf Town, as well as a Ghastly in our hometown. The Route 114 encounter isn't the Donphan I hoped for, but a shiny Quagsire instead. Unfortunate. The first ever mixed battle is coming up, and it's pretty scary since we can only bring 3 Pokemon, and if they all go down, the run ends. I decide to go with the old-fashioned Baton Pass strategy, bringing Illumise and Alolan Ninetales, as well as Golisopod for backup. My plan was basically just to Quiver Dance and hope that they target May's Pokemon more. Ninetales is able to come in, set up Hail, and destroy with Blizzards. It ended up being a lot easier than I thought. It won't be the last mixed battle, however. Team Magma isn't done yet, and we have the first Maxi boss fight. His team is not that scary. Lead Niaganadel is easily taken out with Choice Scarf Blizzard. Hail breaks Sash on Lycanroc as Golisopod blows it up using Aqua Jet. Camerupt comes out earlier than I expected, as I figured Crobat would be more effective. The GOAT handles it regardless. Still, no Crobat though, as Hydreigon is really not what I wanted to see. I brought a tanky Hariyama who's able to solo it. Crobat eventually shows, but it being able to live a Blizzard complicates things. Switching around brings it low enough for the Blizzard to take it out, as well as the Cacturn. With that taken care of, 2 gym fights back to back await. We pick up a Hakamo on the way down the mountain, then head to the 4th gym. Unlike the others, it's not required to beat all the trainers inside, so we get right to Flannery. No surprise, Flannery has a Sun team with some big hitters. Ninetales and Mega Charizard Y to reset the Sun, 2 extreme speeding doggos in Entei and Arcanine, and a Walking Wake whose Catastrophe ability boosts water moves in the Sun. I prep the team and go for it. I lead Golem as getting Stealth Rocks up is a huge help. Since it has Sturdy, it's a guaranteed we get them set. I bring in Golis as he auto protects. If Ninetales can't see a kill, it goes for Hypnosis, so Chesto Berry comes in clutch, letting Earthquake remove Ninetales. Arcanine is next, and because of bulk investment, Wild Charge isn't enough, but my Earthquake is. The other doggo comes out, and it's exactly what I wanted to see. Lean the Quagsire walls it with little effort. Quagsire was buffed in this game to have 95s across the board, except in speed, and its water availability not only prevents burns, it sets up Aqua Ring automatically. Lean, set up Rain, sets up Amnesia to +6, and smiles as Entei slowly dies to poison. Flannery sends out the one Pokemon with a grass move, being Charizard's Solar Beam. The AI, however, doesn't understand that it's going to set up the Sun upon Mega Evolving, meaning it won't use it yet. I hit a reverse Nene though, and Rain Dance on the Mega Turn, canceling the Sun instantly. It will never go for a 3-turn Solar Beam, and it too perishes to Toxic. Ceruledge hits on the physical side, so I switch in Bisharp, whose Choice Banded Sucker Punch OHKOs it. Last is Walking Wake. Lean's bulk is too much and no crits means this is over, obtaining the 4th gym badge and increasing the level cap to 50. Flannery also gives us a Volcarona for the road. No time to celebrate as Norman follows. Before heading over, it's gambling time, and Redux Stuffle is the prize. We also unlock the 3 shops with the starters. We roll Torchic, Piplup, and Rowlet. All birds. Lastly, pick up the Gift Aggron with its Megastone. Again, we don't need to fight the entire gym, and we make it to Norman quickly. Before battling, he gives us all the Mega Stones and the bracelet. The recipe I cooked up for this fight doesn't require a Mega, so I won't be needing one. Norman's team is not intimidating on the surface, but there's definitely a lot of power there. Anger Point Savali can get out of hand. He leads Kangaskhan, but it's not his Mega. I lead Golem as it's not only bulky enough to survive multiple hits, but it can set up rocks just from being hit, breaking Dodrio's Sash, and has the offensive power to blow up Kang with a headlong rush. X-Cloud can't handle a first impression Aqua Jet combo from Tom Brady, and Dodrio, with its added ground type, is allergic to Aqua Jet. Hairy Mama and its big bulk and draining punches make light work of Savali. Norman's Mega is Bayonet, and with its Spectral Thief, makes setting up a bad idea. King Gambit's Sucker Punch is more than enough though. Persian also has no answers for it. We earn badge number 5 of this Nuzlocke, raising the level cap to 55. There are plenty of new encounters for us to grab, including a huge pickup. I thought I needed Surf to get it, so I delayed for nothing. On Route 109 in the piles of sand are 3 Pokemon, Sandygast at 65%, Pyukumuka at 30%, and Wiglet at 5%. One of these is an S tier encounter, massive for this run. This little guy right here with 200 in both defensive stats. He is an ungodly switch in. This is it. Please. Please be Pyukumuku. Oh my god, and it's him! We got him! Oh my god! We got the Pyukumuku! Who needs Blissey? Look at these stats, chat. 200 in both defenses. 105. Pickle Rick it is. It's Pickle Rick. If he was green, it would have been better. You heard that right. 200 in both defenses, 60 HP, triage recover, dual screens, perish body block, perfect for any battle. I can't underestimate how huge this was. Another big pickup was our first legendary, Moltres, the Zapdos, in the power plant. Great thing is, we now have access to some busted Mega Evolutions. Most importantly, Mega Ampharos. It's decently bulky, and with its fluffy ability and the combination of Electro Surge, Transistor, Tail Glow, and +2 priority Shockwave, it absolutely tears through this game. The second Steven Stone battle is completely trivialized, as his lead Bastiodon lets me get the +6 special attack, and that's instant GG's. This was the theme for the rest of the route as well. Team Aqua, you know, the team that specializes in water, stands no chance against Omni-Woman. Right after the Weather Institute, May tries to jump us but fails. Oh, and Mega Ampharos also has Mold Breaker, so Disguise and Sturdy won't stop sweeps. To the right of Fortree, if we wait just a second, we are guaranteed an encounter with another S tier Pokemon in this game, Kecleon. So, you're telling me this thing is an S tier? Well, its ability Color Change has been buffed significantly. How it works now is before it gets hit by any attack, it switches its type to something that resists it or is immune to it, making it very difficult to take out, and the AI really struggles to understand how it works, so certain Pokemon won't touch it. It also has Protean, so offensively it works as well. I'll be saving it for later, as I have a better strategy for Winona. This is the first double battle gym, so it's a lot more unpredictable. Well, my plan is to make things predictable. I lead Gyarados and Zapdos, and I make sure not to give Gyarados any EVs. That way, he'll be the obvious target. I protect with Gyarados turn 1, as well as Shockwave the Volt Absorb Kilowattrel. Very important, as I want to waste Fearo's guaranteed turn 1 crit, but I also still need it on the field. Knowing they still want Gyarados dead, I switch to Ampharos, who has Lightning Rod before Mega Evolution, giving it +1 special attack because of Electro Ball, and has enough bulk to live Pharaoh's Sky Attack. While Zapdos uses Discharge, boosting Ampharos again, and taking out the Big Bird. We now have our Mega Ampharos at +2, and double priority Shockwave Mega Aerodactyl. A Moltres versus Moltres mirror match ensues, but Shockwave ends that quickly, and Hidden Power Rock brings Wattrel down low enough that it won't bother me anymore as it just roosts. Flightless Zapdos also gets cooked by Shockwave, as well as Kilowattrel finally going down to Hidden Power. Tornadus obviously has no shot. Winona's wings have been clipped and the level cap is raised to 60. The roll for the Redux form gets us Machop, who's pretty underrated. We claim the Savali Mystery Gift, who has some interesting buffs that I'll get into later. And we go back to Route 118 to battle the rest of the trainers so we can receive the Hatina as a gift, as Hatterene is an S tier Pokemon. For now, there's some evil team things we must deal with before the nightmare that is the 7th gym. Run through a bunch of easy trainers, encounter some interesting glitches. I'm not gonna let that, whoa, what? Anybody else see that? Anybody else see that mega symbol? Look at it go, what is happening? It's still going, it's still going across. A few Pokemon like Bubblegump the Whale Lord and Helium the Driftbloom. Once again, Omni-Woman runs through Team Aqua's lackeys. We grab the blue orb and head to the Magma hideout where they actually can put up a bit of a fight. Both admins fight you at the same time and each have Mega Evolutions to watch out for. This battle is very dangerous if you're not prepared. So, you know I had to cook up the perfect plan. I bring a max speed, max special attack Empoleon with Choice Scarf and lead with Zapdos, who is slower than Ninetales, allowing Drizzle to be set over the sun. Empoleon will outspeed, but to avoid damage from priority Mud Shot, I switch Zapdos out for Psychic Surge Gardevoir, and Surf finishes off the Fox. Crocodile comes out with Intimidate, which actually activates Empoleon's competitive ability, raising its special attack to +2. Surf again destroys them both, as Gardevoir safely protects. Both Megas are out now. Unfortunately, Mega Houndoom still outspeeds Empoleon even with the Choice Scarf. To fix this though, I swap Gardevoir out for Swellow, whose Air Blower ability sets up Tailwind upon entry. They end up double protecting, so Swellow just takes all the Surf. Luckily it has a Focus Sash, protecting itself the next turn as they both go down to Surf. A quick switch to Lean, and it's over. Time for the boss man Maxie. If it wasn't super predictable, Maxie will have a Primal Groudon on this team, so it's a fight you gotta watch out for. He leads Niaganadel, who has no shot versus Hatterene, who sets up Trick Room on entry, blasting it with Psychic. Big Man Groudon comes out, and Focus Sash allows Hat to 2-shot as Trick Room runs out. His Arboliva can be unkillable at times. Gengar is resistant to both its attacks, and a Nasty Plot Sludge Bomb removes the plant. Tinglu is extremely tanky, so I use the free Gliscod switch in. He resists both stabs, and a Swords Dance X-Scissor removes it quite easily. Mega Camerupt is next, and it's finally time to debut Pickle Rick. The bulk plus toxic plus recover triage means Camerupt has no chance to take him out. Hydreigon is last, and after hitting it with a soak, removing its stab damage, it can't do enough damage to the pickle. I grab the Magma Stone in the hideout and take it to the Scorched Slab to get a shiny Heatran. It won't be of much use for the Team Aqua hideout, but then again, Mega Ampharos is just too busted to be stopped and tears through them easily. Making our way across the ocean, we enter the dreaded 7th gym. Tate and Liza's team might not look that crazy, but an important thing to note now is that Trick Room is permanent and it's an inverse battle, flipping the type chart completely. Each of them has a Mega, and Psychic Terrain is set frequently, stopping priority moves. We lead with Bruh, the Carbink, and Graffiti, the Kecleon. Carbink's tankiness and support moves, and the ability Power Spot make it an amazing partner. It uses Trick Room to remove the permanent Trick Room, giving us the speed advantage, and Swords Dance with Kecleon. However, both opponents target Carbink, Marsharna critting it, leaving it way lower than I anticipated, forcing Carbink to rest instead of an important light screen as Kecleon continues to Swords Dance. They really hate this little rock, but of course, the time I protect, they both target Kecleon, who reaches +6 attack. I have to risk Bruh's life to set up a light screen, but before Kecleon goes on his murder spree, I skill swap his Defeatist ability for Uniclus's Overcoat ability, reducing special damage by 20%. Carbink takes the Expanding Force, and Marsharna thankfully goes for Kecleon instead, otherwise Bruh was cooked. Kecleon unleashes a super effective Stab Drain Punch, taking out Reuniclus as it brings its health all the way back up. Calyrex Ice Rider is out to stop the dynamic duo. Ice Punch thaws out the beast, and Carbink goes back to full with rest. Mini Diancie will not die today. Mega Slowbro with its Unaware ability planned to stop Graffiti cold, so I skill swap it again. They stay hating on Carbink, so I'm forced to switch it out for a max special defense Florges. Losing Power Spot, Drain Punch isn't enough to take out Slowbro. It's fine because it goes down easy, then Oranguru gets blasted with a Helping Hand boosted Drain Punch. Marsharna is worthless, so I've been keeping it around, and once Mega Slowking goes down to Drain Punch, it's over. I had to pop off on chat a little bit as they doubted the strat going in, but I'm like Gordon Ramsay when cooking up these plans. We now get to the 70 level cap, and a new Redux form being Panpour. Coming up is possibly the hardest fight in the entire Nuzlocke, that being the Maxie and Courtney mixed battle. Both of their teams have some big hitters, and Courtney's 2 Intimidate Pokemon make things very difficult. Steven Stone is a joke, bringing 3 Steel types against some insane Fire types. Let's talk about what makes this fight a real run ender. You have 3 of your Pokemon, and Maxie's Primal Groudon has no way to be taken out in one shot without a crit. Its water weakness is turned off, Primal Armor basically removes all of their weaknesses, and with 160 defense, you will need a special attacker. And like, didn't Groudon run away last time? How did Maxie get it back? Anyway, the only real option you have is Hatterene. 136 special attack, stabs Psychic, which hits again at 25% power because of hyper aggressive, and Trick Room on entry actually lets Steven's slow Pokemon work. 2 things need to happen for this fight to be easy. First is that Groudon must target Magnezone with V-Create on the first turn, otherwise Hatterene will go down to Sash and will most likely die later. The second thing that needs to happen is Aggron must hit Courtney's Charizard with Head Smash, otherwise Heat Wave will tear you both apart. Head Smash is an 85% accurate move. One of these going wrong put the run in danger, or at the very least you lose an incredibly valuable Pokemon. Coming this far, I just could not live with those odds. I needed a way to guarantee that both things would happen. So after hours of planning, I believed I could achieve just that. Head Smash needs to hit that Charizard, right? Well, what if I could turn that 85% chance into 140% chance it hits? Gravity? Gravity will guarantee we hit that Head Smash. Because Gravity increases accuracy by 1.67 times. So if I set up a Gravity, Head Smash will hit every time. So we can eliminate that. To guarantee that Hatterene doesn't die to V-Create on turn 1, we're going to lead with Grimmsnarl, who at max defense and Fur Coat and max HP, Groudon should never see
even close to a kill. So he would never attack Grimmsnarl. He's always going to attack Magnezone, because he's always going to see a kill. So we don't have to worry about those two factors.
Leading Grimmsnarl instead, whose Fearmonger ability lowers both attacks by 1 stage, will make Groudon attack Magnezone first, but Magnezone still needs to do its job by taking out Granbull first, so I immediately switch to Hatterene, whose Trick Room lets that happen before V-Create can take it out. Part 1 is done. Next is the Head Smash, and thanks to Gravity, we'll always take out Charizard. Aggron eats the V-Create. Courtney is down to her last Pokemon, and on the last turn of Trick Room, Moonblast finishes off her team as Aggron dies to V-Create.
So now, Trick Room's gonna end, but this idiot Groudon right here, this idiot Groudon was spamming V-Create. And what does V-Create do? It lowers speed. And guess who's now faster? Actually, he knew I was gonna kill it.
Zygarde is next, so I switch to Grim and lower its attack, letting Skarmory do work, followed by a Fake Out, then a parting shot back to Hatterene, who blasts it away. Redux Machamp with Multiscale and Drain Punch easily solos Mega Camera. With that, I've turned one of the hardest fights in the Nuzlocke into pretty much a guarantee. No more Team Magma. We need to take care of one more evil team though. After going under the ocean and making my way through Team Aqua's base, the final fight with Archie takes place. More like the final beatdown because it was light work. Golisopod solos his lead Primal Kyogre, followed by his Mega Sharpedo. Hatterene solos Buzzwole, which forces Zeraora out. The funny thing about its moveset is both its powerful moves have immunities, so I take advantage of the dumb AI who switches between 2 moves back and forth, versus Kecleon who keeps changing its type to take no damage, while it sets up 3 Swords Dances and a Trick Room. Wo-Chien erases stat boost, but can't beat Mega Blaziken in a 1v1. After this, Rayquaza saves the world, and the 2 bosses finally give up their idiotic plans. Now for what I consider the hardest battle in the entire game. Remember the museum 6v12 from earlier? Well, the 8th gym is a 6v12 double battle between Wallace and Juan. For a Nuzlocke, Ferrothorn can handle it easily. Well, I never encountered one of those. I had to take some creative measures to get out of this alive. Starting with the first battle, I lead with max special defense Florges and Pyukumuku. Immediately I set up Calm Minds with Florges and set up Light Screen with Pyuku. I continue spamming Calm Minds and Protect and Recover with Pyuku until Florges hits +5 special attack. Toxic on Suicune brings it down low enough and Florges can begin her assault. Suicune goes down to Giga Drain, Simipour is next, and I Protect on Pickle Rick so Fake Out doesn't activate its Perish Body. Simipour is also gone. Tapu Fini could live a Giga Drain, but Politoed hits her with a Surf so she's gone. Politoed follows. Manaphy will steal stat changes on entry, but not if the Pokemon is directly across. To ensure it goes down first, I switch Pyukumuku for Hat to get Trick Room set up. The last is Mega Gyarados, who has no shot against 2 fairies in Trick Room. Part 1 is down. The harder Part 2 follows. This team is much tougher with Primal Kyogre, Primal Palkia, Mega Swampert, and more. So, looking at the calcs, Golisopod only sees a kill on Florges using Wave Crash, while Palkia sees about half on Pyuku. So I do a double switch. For Florges, I send out Savali, and for Pickle Rick, I send out my Golisopod. Now earlier I said Savali got buffed in this game, more specifically its abilities. You see, for each typing, based on the memory it holds, its abilities change, like the Fairy form gets Prankster and Regenerator, or Ground with Aftershock and Earth Eater. The one I chose was Water, as it now has Storm Drain and Marine Apex, which increases damage to water types by 50%. So Savali comes in and gets a +1 in special attack because of Wave Crash, and Golisopod protects coming in. For this fight, I've actually removed all of Golisopod's EVs. This way, he will be much weaker, therefore seen as a kill by both opponents. Palkia would go first, but First Impression stops it with a flinch, and Thunderbolt kills their Golisopod, bringing out Primal Kyogre. Both of them see they can take out Tom Brady, not Savali, so I protect against the double attack and Thunderbolt Kyogre. Again, they both want that bug to die so bad, and he's out of options. So I switch him for Hatterene, whose Trick Room allows Savali to go before Palkia, taking it out, and Hat eats a Thunder. Swiftwind really hurts both of them since my Pokemon will go first now. Moonblast evaporates Kyogre and Thunderbolt puts the ugly Arctovish out of its misery. Giga Drain then removes Swampert's soul, and Ludicolo with Focus Sash gets Paraflinched, so it's over. The final level cap of 80 is reached. It's time to make our preparation for the Elite Four. Revealing one of the 6 Pokemon I'll bring, my Mega will be Mega Hitmonchan. In order to get its Mega Stone, I need to fight the Karate Guy in Granite Cave with only one Pokemon in my party, and it must be a fighting type. He will have either a Mega Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, or Hitmontop. This is a pretty dangerous fight for the run. Kommo-o luckily can handle all 3, so it doesn't really matter, and we secure the Mega Stone. I'm off to Victory Road. Every trainer has full teams, including Megas. I didn't get any notable encounters, just possibly the ugliest shiny that ever existed. I swear if we get this stupid dog, this Okie Doggy, I'm gonna be mad. Please don't be the dog. Please don't be Okie Doggy. Oh my god, I hate you. And you're ugly shiny too. Just to add insult to injury, one of the ugliest Pokemon in the history of the game. Not just the design, it has the ugliest shiny I've ever seen. Get out of my PC, dude. I can't have him infecting my PC. That bro's ugly. First, Wally tries to stop me, but Mega Beedrill runs through his entire team. This trend would continue for most of the trainers in here actually, until we reach the end where we see Calvin, the first trainer we ever fought, with his Dualion. Mega Gardevoir with Skill Swap pretty much runs through the rest of this battle with an assist from Aggron. There is nothing between me and the Elite Four. 5 battles left. Throughout the Nuzlocke, I've swapped teammates around depending on the battle, but now I have to bring the perfect 6 that can win all 5 fights. So, who made the final dream team? Hitmonchan, more specifically Mega Hitmonchan, with Raging Boxer, all punching moves hit twice, and with Blitz Boxer, all of them will have +1 priority at max health. Pyukumuku, with its unmatched bulk and recovery, it is a phenomenal switch-in, plus its Perish Body ability can force switches for us. Heatran, mainly here because of its drought ability, will be helpful, but it can also rip big damage if needed. Hatterene, you've already seen just how important Trick Room can be, plus it hits very hard and hyper aggressive is perfect for sashed mons. Kecleon is a no-brainer. Get it in front of certain Pokemon and it will be able to set up with no effort. Lastly, Golisopod, the MVP of the run. Free switch in and plenty of power and bulk. These 6 will either win it all or crash and burn. With no time to waste, we enter. Sydney is up first and has a couple of Megas and fast powerful legendaries. Leading with Mega Hitmonchan, I power up Punch Shenpao, and since it was sashed, I was able to get both hits, giving Hitmonchan +2 attack. Greninja also falls to power up Punch, giving it +3 attack. Yveltal's ability drops us right back to +2, but it can't live a Thunder Punch though. His Mega Tyranitar has all of its health drained. Mega Redux Mawile instantly goes down to a Seismic Fist, and lastly, Darkrai meets a true nightmare and goes down. Clean sweep, damageless. Phoebe won't be as straightforward. Her team consists of some deadly sweepers, 3 Pokemon with Shadow Shield including Speed Boost Focus Sashed Calyrex. She leads with the absolute unit that is Giratina. I lead with Graffiti as Giratina can't touch it with its moves, so I set up Stealth Rocks, which is essential to break the Shadow Shields and Sashes. I set up a sub, which is absolutely mandatory for this strategy. It's now Swords Dance time and Shadow Sneak. I'm just praying Fluttermane doesn't come out too soon. Luckily, she sends out Marshadow first, most likely because of its ability Phantom Thief, letting it use a weak Spectral Thief on entry, which would normally steal all stat changes, but not through our substitute. It also falls to Shadow Sneak. Now the cursed Fluttermane comes out, and yes, it will die to a Shadow Sneak, but the innate ill will removes the rest of our Shadow Sneak PP, so no sweep for Kecleon, forcing us to go to Golisopod, who, with the safe switch-in, one-shots Necrozma using Dark Gem Sucker Punch. Contrary, Mega Redux Houndoom can sweep through teams with ease, but is too weak to survive a Sucker Punch. Calyrex is also 4 times weak to Dark, so yeah, to the Shadow Realm it goes. Phoebe is done. The next fight against Glacia is the one that worried me quite a bit. With 3 Mega Evolutions, 2 Hail Setters, and 1 lightning fast bee, we could lose an important team member. Again, I lead Graffiti versus her Mega Lapras Y. The only thing she wants to do is hit us with Liquid Voice boosted Boom Burst, so I skill swap it turn 1 so it goes back to a normal type, which we are immune to. She doesn't realize that, so it's just recover, then Swords Dance time. Drain Punch takes care of Nessie, and Articuno threatens the run with high crit Aero Blasts. And unfortunately, we crit. And yes, this is not a good thing. I ended up getting less health back from the final hit, plus Aurora Veil has 1 more turn left for Kyurem. I need to remove its Hail, but if it goes for Fusion Flare over Blizzard, Heatran may die on switching, so I go for it. And it hits the Blizzard, activating our eject button so Hitmonchan can come in at full health, meaning priority punches, and with no Hail means we won't lose it. Drain Punch the Dragon, it's gone. We have both hands for Iron Bundle as its Focus Sash gives us +2 attack. Mega Redux Beedrill also goes down to 2 power-up punches, bringing us to +4. It doesn't even matter how insanely bulky Mega Dugong is, since close combat kills it in 1 hit. Glacia was defrosted. We now must enter the Diddy party where a shirtless Drake awaits and locks the door behind us. This is the last fight I'm scared of in this run. His crazy team has 4 covered legendaries, including 1 that can Mega, another Mega, and a Paradox form. The lead Dialga can take pieces out of multiple team members and can't be set up on, as Roar of Time will just switch you out. I'll have to deal with it right away. I go with Heatran, but I purposely lower its special attack as low as possible. I hit Dialga with Overheat, but the goal is not to kill it, just to get it low enough. Eject Pack lets us leave right into Hatterene, who is immune to the incoming Roar of Time. Pixelate Hyper Voice not only finishes Dialga, it activates her Throat Spray, giving her just enough power to take out Mega Haxorus coming in. Mega Rayquaza would die to it too, but Trick Room ends, so I need the switch. Who better than the unbreakable wall that is Pickle Rick, eating that V-Create and activating Perish Body for both of us. I don't block it in because I don't want it dead, I want the free switch. So I recover and protect and pray for no crits. We both leave on the last count, but they see my change first into Hitmonchan, so they go to Kyurem. Kyurem then sees that it can one-shot with Bolt Strike. Little does he know we're about to be a ground type. Drain Punch isn't enough, however, and the jig is up. An Ice type Extreme Speed is on the way, so we dip out to the GOAT, and First Impression cleans up the mess. Rayquaza comes back in, so I teach him the same lesson as before. This time on the switch, I go to Hatterene, who blasts Koraidon, then blasts Rayquaza with Hyper Voice. Roaring Moon can't see a kill with anything and goes with Dragon Dance, but that was all she wrote. Call me Kendrick Lamar because we just destroyed Drake. We escaped the Diddy party to our final fight. Honestly, I wasn't too worried, as we can now sacrifice Pokemon if we need to, as long as we win. His team is still as solid as steel. He also has a Mega Mewtwo Y as his nuke. It's time for the final battle of the Nuzlocke. Immediately, I take advantage of his lead Kartana's major fire weakness, leading Hatterene and melting it with Mystical Fire. Mega Metagross looks to finish us with Bullet Punch, but I switch to Pickle Rick and start the Perish Song timer. Just like with the last fight, I stall until we can get the free switch. There's one Pokemon I really want to get out because I know I can set up against it. So I go into Hitmonchan, and sure enough, he sends out the golden ticket to victory, Mewtwo. Mewtwo 100% wants to go for this Psy Strike, so I swap to Kecleon, who will transform into a Dark type, taking no damage. Seeing that I'm a Dark type, Mewtwo will always go for Focus Blast, which also has an immunity. I use Nasty Plot, meaning at the end of the turn, I'm back to Dark type, and the cycle continues. After getting to +6, I flip the speeds using Trick Room. Checkmate. Flamethrower tears through Steven's team. Steven's Heatran thought it could save the day, but Hidden Power Fighting had other plans. Trick Room ends with only Zamazenta remaining, and I seal its fate by switching to Pyukumuku, which triggers Perish Body, giving Steven only 3 turns to beat my entire team. And he doesn't even get close as I switch to a Protecting Tom Brady on the last Perish turn. And we've done it. Hardcore Elite Nuzlocke has been completed on attempt number 3, and I become the first to ever complete it live. We look back at all the Pokemon that helped along the way as the credits roll. I put the champions in the PC to finally rest. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. This was really challenging and took a lot of planning to make sure the battles went smoothly. And I've never done a video like this on the channel before. I also had lots of help from the Discord as well. Shout out to all the members, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.